How is it going, folks? Welcome back to Park to Prem. Today is the end of season number 7 live. I ended things last episode kind of in defeat, except in the fact that in reality, European football, a top half finish, probably wasn't going to happen. We've won 3 out of our last 4 games. There is still now a chance. Now, granted, 2 of the teams we beat were both Bournemouth and West Ham, who were sat at the bottom of the table, but we won those games, and we still have Aston Villa to play, who sit directly above us. A win in the first game today, we start to believe. We would still have to take on Man City, who are top of the league, and Fulham, who we couldn't beat earlier on in the year, to conclude the season. But just in case we win, we're back today. 3 matches live, editing Jack hates me. Let's run the intro and get straight into things. Now, at the end of last episode, things did look rather bleak, didn't they? We succumbed to I think it was an 8th game in a row without winning. We lost 1-0 against Burnley. They had 1 shot on target. We gave their attacker the ball on the break, and he scored. And from there, I did not feel good. But I kind of looked at the squad, 7 games left of the season, shrugged my shoulders and thought, well, you know what? We'll just play the end of the season and get it over and done with. And we did start to get some results, annoyingly. The first of those was against West Ham. We were a bit lucky in this game. They scored an own goal, which definitely helped us on our merry way, but we were definitely the better team. You can see that on the balance of things. Tammy Ajaria, man of the match, was great to see. Lancashire as well, finally getting a goal. 9 hours without a goal, finally got one there. We kept our defence solid, and we got a win. Now, sadly, it wasn't all plain sailing. We didn't win against Tottenham as we took them on at home, despite the fact we missed a penalty and arguably should have had chances to win the game. Their goalkeeper got man of the match. I think that gives you an idea of the kind of game it was. A hard-fought game, a cruel game to lose. But from there, 2 wins on the bounce. The first against Bournemouth, they're down at the bottom of the table. This result relegated them down to the Championship. Great win for us. Rashid Mohammed with the goal. A game where, in retrospect, I think I forgot to make subs, because apparently I didn't make any. That's awkward, isn't it? We won, doesn't matter. And then after that, perhaps the most emphatic of the lot, 3-0 against Crystal Palace. A really good result here. They had 1 shot. They didn't score this one. I know, I can't believe it either. Rolk picked up man of the match. We scored a few goals. I was going to say life's good. Life's better. I was actually doing some number crunching on our season to see, am I just getting unlucky or, am I an idiot? Of the 13 games we've lost in the league this year, we've only lost 3 games by more than 1 goal. 10 defeats out of the 13 are singular goal games. The defeats that were bigger, 3-0 against Leicester, 3-0 against Manchester United, 5-3 against Liverpool. With the exception of that, our season has come down to really narrow margins. And I suppose that's why when you look at the league table, we're currently in 9th place, and yet when you compare ourselves to Everton, who are directly behind us, there is a 24-goal swing in our favour. We score a lot of goals defensively, I'll be honest. We concede a lot of goals too. I kind of knew that was a problem going into this year, but there weren't defenders to sign, so we just have to roll with it. But yeah, the firepower that we have is, well, the 3rd best in the league in terms of goals scored for. That ultimately has been a difference maker this year. And so it's with that in mind, I've kidded myself into thinking that maybe we could make a late charge. 3 wins in 4. 2 of the teams we beat relegated there or thereabouts. West Ham will be going down this year without a monstrous turnaround. And to kick things off today, it's a must-win game. It's at Villa Park. We go into this game as underdogs. I think that goes without saying. But if we could get a result here, it'd be kind of crazy. We took on Aston Villa, you might remember, at the end of last season in a must-win game. We won on that occasion 5-3 to avoid relegation. They finished 2 points ahead of us. They are narrowly ahead of us right now. Looking at their team here, they are very, very likely to play a 4-4-2. And we look at the scout reports. Apparently, I need to be scared of set pieces versus them. They are set-piece merchants, so let's try and not let that happen, I guess. When it comes to our own team situation going into today's game, Jobe Bellingham has picked up an injury, but to be honest, he probably wouldn't have been on the bench anywhere. Elsewhere, Gavin Wallace just coming back from a minor little injury. Yeah, he got injured again after last episode. As a result of that, we are going with Amari Hutchinson. Despite the fact our form has been lacklustre, especially in the last kind of extended run of games, you look at the morale across the board here, it's definitely started to bounce back. And I do feel like morale plays such a big role in how players play in Football Manager. I'm hoping we can keep the good vibes and the good momentum going here. The rest of the team for this one is at full strength. We have nice, strong lines but between all our defenders for the first time in God knows how long. Maybe that's a good omen. Let's just get into this one. I just want to hit go to match and get things started. Of course, if we lose to Villa and then lose to Man City, we're just going to have to awkwardly do the Fulham game in mid-table, probably accepting the fact we're not getting European football. So with that in mind, I'd quite like to get a good result in at least this game. Aston Villa playing a 4 at the back is going to be interesting to see how we fare against, because I feel like our three strikers, if we can get into those passing lanes between the centre-backs, the full-backs, and obviously the centre-backs to one another, we should be able to force some high turnovers up the pitch. We've got a free kick here, or rather a corner here, which is going to be whipped in. Illing Jr. maybe now going to look to relieve the pressure for Villa on the counter-attack as they go back to Baselli at right back here. He lays it inside. It deflects off one man, but finds its way to John McGinn. And well, you think of 4-4-2 as being a rigid shape. Right now, they look fluid. Buchanan's in behind. Buchanan scores. The flag is raised on the far side. It looked offside to me. I assume this one's going to be given. VAR review. Drum roll, please. Offside. We're fine. That is a little bit of a warning, though. 20 minutes playing this game. I'm going to encourage the players. We're not having as much of the ball, but besides the disallowed chance, Villa have not had a shot on our goal thus far in this game, which is looking really, really positive. We're creating a fair amount. Got to be a little bit wary on the counter-attack, but yeah, half an hour played here. I'm not upset by what I'm seeing. Ball whipped in. Maybe I'm about to be upset by what I'm seeing. Baselli plays it forward to Emont. Shot from range potentially for John McGlynn. No, he lays it wide. They play it through the middle. Ratkov shoots, and Anson has actually tipped that over. Still the resulting corner to deal with here. It's going to be Illing Jr. whipping it to the edge. It's headed up in the air. Can Flood get on the second ball? He can. And right now, I just want to see the highlight end. We need to see this period of pressure cease. Baselli's cutting inside, though, with time and space. This doesn't feel good. That hits the side netting. Don't like this. There's going to be another corner on the far side for Villa to look to get into the mixer. Into the box it goes. Pau Torres is under it. Rolk gets this one away. Set-piece goals have actually been one of our main goal-scoring outlets as of late, it has to be said. From open play, we are still struggling a little bit, but defensively, we're looking pretty good. And despite our defence being tested here, we've been solid thus far in this game. Rolk reads it well. Now we're trying to hit them on the counter. Lancashire bringing it forward as that advance forward, skipping past a few men, going all on his lonesome, and what a goal that is! It's his 14th goal of the year. That is a really nice goal, if I might say so myself. Might be wrong here. I think all of Lancashire's 14 goals have come in the league. Last year, I think Sheldon got 14 or 15 goals. So he stepped into the team. He's fired some crazy goals in. That is probably the best of the bunch. I'll be honest, when that highlight began with Lancashire doing the run, didn't think he was going to score. Thought it was going to be that annoying Football Manager highlight where the striker blasts it off target. Instead, we've got one goal, and now we're going to look for another. Ajaria going inside, finds Flood, who shoots. Oh my word, it was almost another banger. Keeper tips this one wide. Hutchinson still over the corner though. Still a chance, you know, to crank up the pressure maybe a little bit here. Ball whipped in. Hoey can't get there. Sheldon goes down in a heap. Penalty not given. Mohammed, Rashid shoots. Deflects wide. Okay, half-time in this game has come. 1-0 to the good. They had one shot in the entirety of that half. If I had one complaint, it's the fact we're only a single goal up. I want to see us be a little bit more potent in the second half. If I'm being honest, there is a temptation looking at, well, the performances in the final third, namely Rashid Mohammed on a 6.6. And there is that temptation just to go back to the more defensive shape. I don't want to be defeatist. I think this is sensible. I'm going to bring in Meredith to play at centre attacking mid. Meredith's been a really useful player to have on off the bench. Has grabbed plenty of goals as well in the league when we've called upon him. Going to ask him to do a job here. And I am actually going to change Flood to play as the defensive deep line playmaker. I feel like there's a degree of sensibility needed here. Game management secured a safety last year. If we're going to end this season strongly, I think I've got to game manage things as smartly to end this year. Speaking of which, we might have a chance immediately because Ajari's put it into the middle. Lancashire, the goal scorer, lays it to Gallagher in the box, straddles one tackle, pulls the trigger, scores a goal, and it is 2-0. That is a great start to the half. Ajaria laid it inside. Lancashire held up intelligently. Sadly, he didn't get an assist, I think, because the Villa defender there got a tiny little touch. I feel like Lancashire should have got an assist for that, but you know what? That really doesn't matter, does it, in the grand scheme of things? We've doubled our lead. Now it's about game management. Hour played here. I think I'm going to look to inject some more fresh legs into the team. Matthew Miller on Newcombe at left back. I'm going to bring in Gavin Wallace, who's coming back from injury. In the midfield, do I want to make further changes? Not really. I'm going to go with those changes for now. But 25 minutes left here. We are doing what we need to do. I was a bit nervous that having won, you know, some games that you maybe expect us to win against relegation fodder, I'd come back with a new lease on life, all excited for today's video, and we just wouldn't show up against Aston Villa. And it'd be anticlimactic. Safe to say, We've really taken the game to them well here. 2 minutes left of this game, plus added time, 6 minutes. Count them down with me. 4, 3, it's like New Year. 2, 1. That is going to be the game. It wasn't a pretty end. It fizzled out into nothingness. That is fine by me. That's the kind of result we needed. Very, very happy with that result there. That sees us jump ahead of Aston Villa, if I'm not mistaken, and up into 8th place. We are just 1 point behind Brighton, 2 points behind Wolves, 2 points behind Newcastle, although they do have a game in hand. Of course, our next game is against Man City. So we're probably going to lose this next game, I'm afraid to say. I'm going to manage expectations. But our last game of the year against Fulham, a win there, maybe we sneak into Europe. Meredith is out for 1 to 3 days. Will Lancashire out for 4 to 7 days. He might not be fit for the City game. That's a bit of a shame because he did score in that last one. As for Gavin Gallagher, man of the match for him. He was superb. He has really been a revelation this year. From a player we brought in to be the backup to Carl Flood to being his partner in crime in the centre of the midfield. It's been a fun time with those two. Anyway, we've got a week to the next game. It's a trip to Brisbane Road. We upset Man City to end last year. We're going to try and do it again. Let's see how we get on. Okay, folks, 1 week later, game number 2. Man City at home. Just in some other news, I didn't realise it was so bad for them. Chelsea, down in 15th place, could still be relegated. It's not mathematically impossible for them to be relegated. For it to happen, Fulham need to win either today against Manchester United or beat us on the final game of the year. And that is still pending Leeds United needing to get a result on the final day. Part of me is really tempted to throw against Fulham, but I don't think that's in the spirit of playing Football Manager, is it? Anyway, in terms of the game plan for this game against Man City, Lancashire coming back from a little bit of a knock. I don't feel like it's worth risking him in this game. And I do feel like, given the fact I'm going to have Meredith starting in the team today, maybe it makes sense to go back to the more defensive shape here, use this initially, see how we fare against Man City, and then go for it late on if there is a chance to go for it. I feel like I said before, it's about game management this end of the season. This system is very good at the back, gives us a chance on the counter. If we need to chase the game, we'll do that later. Okay, into this game we go. Suddenly our form looks amazing, doesn't it? 4 wins in our last 5. A win here would put us in a monstrous position. But being realistic, very unlikely we're going to beat this Man City team that have won their last 5 games on the bounce. And when you look at their team, Erling Haaland, Endrick, yeah, they've got some good players. In fact, any point for Man City today would guarantee them the league title. They've kind of already won the league on all but goal difference. So maybe they'll be complacent. Maybe. Probably not. Okay, early on in this game, 3 minutes in, Endrick has the ball. That is a scary sentence to utter aloud. He's going to lay it wide. Can we deal with the pressure being built up here? Sheldon, what have you done? What has he done? I don't want to look up. I don't want to look at him. I don't want to look at Marcus Sheldon. I don't know why he's done that. He wasn't even the player of ours closest to the ball when he put in that tackle. Man City was always going to be a tough game. We've just shot ourselves in the foot. In fact, you know what? Shooting ourselves in the foot doesn't do us justice. We've shot ourselves in the upper thigh. I feel like that's probably a more lethal area to be shot. While speaking of lethal shots, Haaland 1-0. It was going too well, wasn't it? Was there any doubt when he stepped up? If there was, I wasn't aware of it. Yeah, comfortably 1-0. There is a kickoff highlight immediately as well. Why do I feel so, sapped of motivation and happiness all of a sudden? That is what Man City and Football Manager does to a man. Ajaria, re-inspire me. Make me believe. He puts it in. Chalobah clears it away. Smith Rowe back. And now they're going to build it out through the middle here. Nuama cutting inside. The Ghanaian, if I'm not mistaken. I hope he's from Ghana. Otherwise, that's a bit awkward, isn't it? Rico Lewis is now bringing the ball forward on the right-hand side. Endrick's inside. Not another penalty. Not another goal. Currentin Timber is denied by Anson, who tips it over. Rico Lewis chucking it inside to Emile Smith Rowe. We've started this game, I was going to say fine. It's not fine. We're a goal down. We've given away a penalty. We've been on the back foot multiple times, and we're on the back foot again. Well, it's only just gone over. And yet the resulting goal kick is straight to another highlight. I'm not enjoying this. Can you tell? Rolk with the ball for us, stepping it out wide. Plays it towards Sheldon. That's actually a really nice pass. There's suddenly a bit of an overload in the middle if Ajaria can pick out the right pass. Instead, he kicks it at the buttocks of the Manchester City player. But we're going to win it back. Meredith dropping in deep does well there. Ajaria, attempt number 2, mate. Have another go. If at first you don't succeed, try. And try again. Timber gets a massive block on the shot there. Sheldon to whip this one in. I feel like he's got to make amends having given away that penalty. He puts it to the back post. Hoey is challenged by Erling Haaland. There's not many players who are going to beat Erling Haaland in the air, are there? Hoey is not one of them. Except maybe attempt number 2. Where is Hoey? They've got like 4 men at the far post there. Hoey has no chance of winning the ball, but he's got to the second ball. He's given it back to Ajaria, and there's players committed to the attack here. The right wing back shoots again. I'm not subbing him off today. Did that last episode, didn't work, but he loves to have a shot when he probably shouldn't. I'll be honest, we're only 12 minutes into this game. This is like the 6th highlight. There's so much football managering happening. Which, you know what, when Editing Jack's got to edit a triple header, it isn't necessarily the best thing. You know, you try and keep an episode short and succinct, under half an hour. I don't want to be greedy with your time watching things, but then a match like this happens, and we just have to watch it all. Endrick's bringing it forward here down the right-hand side, gives it to Lewis. Meredith puts in half a tackle, falls to Timber, who hits the post, and we managed to get it away for a corner. You wouldn't believe for all the replays that we've had, there's only been 3 shots on target. That is what's happened so far, oh my word. Anton's had to make a big save. I'm going to shout to Man Moore here. I'm already weighing up just going to the 3 striker system, because I feel like if we just do what we're doing here, we're just going to get pounded into a pulp. You know, right now we're just turtling up, being hurt by Man City. Our best form of defence might be to go on the offensive. They've got a corner as well here that's going to be whipped in. It's looping up. Hoey doesn't jump. Timber scores, and it's 2-0. You know what? I'm making the change now. Admittedly, right, we've only conceded a corner and a penalty in this game. It's not like we've been awful from open play. You know, admittedly, Man City have had a lot of the ball, but this one here, I mean, I kind of wanted to replace Hoey this year. This is the nail in the coffin. The man doesn't even bother to jump. Right, we're playing on the front foot. We're playing the attacking mentality, 3 striker system. I feel like we might as well go for it. At this point, it'd be better to try and scrape something and fail versus not doing anything and just getting battered. Our goal difference is actually very healthy versus those around us, so there's nothing to lose in that regard. Ajaria plays it to Sheldon. That's nice. Options in the middle. Meredith's one of them. And he misses the target completely. Just over 10 minutes left of this first half. It's been an even game. We have created a little bit to our credit, and we might be creating something else here. Amari Hutchinson is dancing down the left-hand side. There's players in the middle. He whips it in. Meredith is one of them. We get a goal. It's 2-1. There's a chance. Hutchinson's run here was absolutely delightful. I did get worried for a second he was just going to lay it back to Flood, but instead, he understood the assignment. He got it into the middle, and Meredith scores. The hindsight Harrys are now going to be like, well, why didn't you play 3 strikers from the beginning? It's a bit risky. There's been games where we've played this system and been absolutely destroyed. I'd point to the game where we lost 3-0 against Manchester United trying it. And I felt like with Man City, we needed to show them respect. Maybe I was too respectful, although maybe I wasn't respectful enough. It's 3-1. That lead, or not even lead, that 1 goal deficit, it didn't last long, did it? Timber with the ball, lays it to Lewis. He dinks it forward, and Nurma tucks it away. I just noticed that the Timber brothers both play for Man City in this universe. That's quite cute, isn't it? That is quite cute. Football Manager's made a wholesome story happen there, much to my disgust. We drew 1-1 against Man City at the end of last year. If we want to get anything here, we need to score at least 3 goals in this game, which, to be fair, we've done on a couple of occasions lately. I'd be lying if I was to say we've looked likely to do it in this one, though. Coming up to an hour played here, I do need to look to make changes at some point. Right as I was thinking about making them, there's a highlight. It's a corner. We've already conceded one of these. We deal with it. Could we break? Hutchinson, run. Run like the wind. Gives it to Rashid Mohammed. He is a rapid individual. He's going to need to go on his lonesome or hold it up for those in the middle. Lays it back to Hutchinson. Options at the edge of the box. Flood is one of them. Half tackle, but battles back well to get the ball. Gallagher now with it. Shoots! It's 3-2. The Irish centre mids link up with one another. We have a chance. Hit them on the counter-attack really nicely. Flood here showing a bit of determination and grit to win that ball back. Fell to Gallagher. He made no mistake, spanking it into the top. I was going to say the top corner. That was the bottom corner. Also, I don't know why I said spank with such ferocity. Don't want to get the video demonetised. I think now is the time, isn't it, to make changes. Will Lancashire on you come to players are pressing forward on the right. Jimmy J. Morgan, come on the left. In terms of the rest of the team, Arian B's looking a little bit anxious and worse for wear, although that kind of applies to our entire defence. I'm going to bring in the man we signed in January in Norlin. He's a bit of a squad option for us, but this is a game where I feel like it's a case of take off Arian B, get on the youngster, make some subs. We need another goal. 15 minutes left. Could we mount? Unlikely comeback here. I mean, I say that, nothing is happening. Hutchinson is looking a little worse for wear over on the left-hand side, it has to be said. I'm going to bring in some fresh legs. Gavin Wallace on, you know what, Ajari has been good in this game, but fresh legs are the order of the day. James McConnell at right wing back as well. Fresh legs in that final third. We're going to switch to very attacking here. I was going to demand more, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, it's a roll of the dice, isn't it, at this point? There's 2 minutes remaining. It's 3-2 in favour of Man City. And while they're trying to make something happen here, Nuama cutting inside, already has 1 goal to his name. Could he turn provider? Flood doesn't put in a tackle. Garner back to goal. Batarina at the edge of the box shoots. Anson saves. I really hope that wasn't the highlight. I hope we can just go up the other end and score now. Caleb, inspire me. Rolk with the ball, gives it to Lancashire, who's dropping in deep as that pressing forward on support, allowing the wing-back to overlap. Lancashire should go down the line, could go down the line, goes inside to Gallagher. McConnell on off the bench, through on goal! He should have scored. I'm looking up at the heavens. There's no answers written on the ceilings. He should have scored. That was the chance. And that, my friends, is going to be that. Man City win the league. I don't want to watch this. Don't show me that. I mean, it's another game where we've lost by a 1-goal margin. This season, we've been so close to greatness on so many occasions, it hurts. With that result, we maintain our spot in 8th place. Elsewhere, Fulham did actually manage to get a draw, which is kind of a mad result for them against Manchester United. They will still need to beat us on the final day. I'm kind of trying to work out permutations here. I think the best we can hope for is 7th. I don't know if 8th is going to get a European spot, and even saying that, Aston Villa still have to play a game. I assume that Aston Villa play tomorrow. I need them to lose. They've lost. Did you see? My face is probably covering it. They just lost to Arsenal. They lost to Arsenal on the late kickoff, which keeps us ahead of them in 8th. I'm not actually sure if that gets us a European spot or not. It gets really confusing with the Conference League and stuff, doesn't it? The rules here say that 7th gets Conference League. So I'm going to work on the assumption that we have to do well, although that depends on the winner of the FA Cup. Who's still in the FA Cup? Just have a quick look here. Leeds won the FA Cup. Does that mean that 7th doesn't get anything and this is just all a waste of time? It might do. Leeds, who are 1 place above the drop, have just got Europa League football. I didn't even spot that. That is absolute madness. Imagine if they go down. They probably won't. We should be beating Fulham. Speaking of which, 7 days till that next one. Away from home at Craven Cottage. A win probably doesn't even get us European football now. But I'd love to finish in 7th. There's prize money for it. Let's go try and end the season on a high. Okay, folks, game number 3, Fulham. 18th versus 8th. I don't think 7th gets us anything here, but prize money in the Premier League is a little significant kind of position to position. You can see here, 7th place, 27 million. Over 25 million. I definitely want that. It is going to be a sellout for this final game of the year. Fulham praying that they can get to safety. I'm praying we can beat them. The stakes for them are a little higher. I feel like compared to the end of last year, I'm a little more relaxed now. In terms of team selection, not changing anything. We are going to go with the 3 striker system. Wallace is going to come in and play at left wing back. This is kind of the starting 11 we've settled on for much of this year, and I do think it is our best starting 11 too. We started the season strongly. We've been ending the season strongly. It'd be great to end it with 1 more win here. Fulham, going into this game, needing a win for safety. Their team is here. Compared to some of the teams we played, it's not that scary. I said that before, and then we lost to them 3-2, so can't afford to underestimate them today. 15 minutes into this first half already, nothing happening either way. Fulham desperate to get that win, like I said. They have actually had a bit more of possession. They're on the front foot more, but we have a chance here, potentially. Ball whipped in. It's headed towards Muric, who picks that ball out of the air. And well, a rare attack for us so far in this game to see it in the goalie's hands. We've not been good at getting the ball forward, but now that we've got it forward, can we pin them back? They beat that initial press. Samuel Smith's, though, going to be harassed quickly. We managed to force that turnover in possession, and now it's about trying to create something here through the midfield. Gallagher, Flood, Lancashire, Mohammed. Lovely build-up play here. Tackle flies in, but we keep hold of it. Sheldon, back to Lancashire. Scored a banger last game. Keeper denies him another good goal there. Not long left to this first half. There's not been a classic in terms of number of highlights. Definitely a bit of a contrast between this and the game against Man City. Few bookings for us, a booking for them as well. It's been a feisty affair in the middle, but both teams kind of just cancelling each other out. At the break, 0-0. I'm going to tell the players I'm far from happy. I'm going to make changes as well here. Wallace is on a booking. Hutchinson got an assist last game. I'm going to bring him on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, Going to bring in McConnell as well. I know he missed that golden opportunity against Man City to draw us level, but I'm going to look beyond that here. 2 players we're bringing on capable of moments of quality in the wide area. Speaking of which, McConnell with a throw in here. 7 minutes into the half, on his left foot, whips it in. It's cleared away. And now, well, Satriano is going to look to launch the counter-attack if he can for Fulham, although he's very much isolated. He gets dispossessed, but Adingra is there to mop up the pieces. And Amari Hutchinson has just been sent off. I made changes to have an impact. That's not the impact I needed to see. I know it's a red card. I knew before it was given what the fate was, and I mean, that is suboptimal. In terms of how we change things up here, I mean, I've got Gabadibo on the bench. I've actually got 2 left wing-back options here, so Gabadibo can come on to play in that wing-back area on the left-hand side. In terms of the strikers, I'm going to go to just an advance forward and a pressing forward, I think. Although I'm going to have them the other way round. You know what, for Lancashire, pressing forward on attack. I mean, not ideal, is it? You make subs as a manager hoping they're going to change the course of the game. That one changed the course of the game, just not quite how I wanted it to. Amari Hutchinson, absolute moment of madness. We found ourselves down a man. Going to keep on the front foot, though, in terms of the 2 centre mid roles. We're not going to sit back. We're going to get them forward and hope that we can get something from a moment of magic. We very nearly got it there. Shouted some words of encouragement at the players. Some really, really good reactions. Reactions are one thing. We need to see actions on the pitch. Jack Harrison bringing the ball forward. Whips in McConnell. Fulham playing for their life. Playing for safety. A win here could spare them from the drop. They know that. They have to go on the attack here. Samuel Smith crosses it in. And I don't know what's just happened. I have just been football managered to the extreme. A deflected cross, I think, hit the post. Anson didn't know how to react. It bounced out straight to their player. And that's one of those goals where I can't work out, is that football manager going, your goalkeeper did a howler, or is that just football manager glitching out and the player not knowing what to do because the AI is not that smart? Doesn't matter what it is, really, does it? Fulham are ahead. Okay, I'm going to make some changes here. Lancashire's been poor. Nicky Meredith potentially playing his final ever game during his time here at the club, of course, in on loan elsewhere. Corby Hatswell, the youngster, on you come for Gallagher, going to play him as a centre mid on attack. He's not exactly the most attacking player in the world, but the youngster's been developing well. We're going to give him some game time here. I realise that with Fulham winning here, there is now a chance that Chelsea are being relegated. Chelsea are losing 2-0. Leeds are losing. As things stand, Leeds are going down. If Leeds get a point here, they'd go above Chelsea. Leeds, all you need to do is score and Chelsea are relegated on the final day. Is there going to be any late twists? There isn't going to be in this game. It is going to finish 1-0 Fulham. And with that, we are going to, well, we're not going to finish in the top 7. Instead, we're going to end up in 9th place. I pray that there isn't an update here to like the European competitions that sees Villa get a European spot somehow. Because if that happens, I'm going to be livid. 9th place in the end. Really good finish to the year. Fulham save themselves on the final day. Leeds are relegated. Chelsea avoid relegation by goal difference. You know what? I'm glad that we did this end to the season because I think it showed the good and the bad of our team this year. On our day, we can be absolutely amazing. On other days, we are garbage. We're given £23 million for a 9th place finish. Don't mind if we do. Between the TV money, the prize money and all that good stuff, the budgets are looking rather healthy all of a sudden. I mean, the fact that Leeds and West Ham have been relegated means that maybe I need to look at their squads for, well, potential signings. I don't know how many of them are going to have relegation release clauses, really, especially in West Ham's case. They've not been in threat of relegation for, well, I was going to say a few years. That's actually not true. Last year, they both narrowly avoided the drop. If anything, they were overdue to go down. Rashid Mohammed has won PFA Young Player of the Year. Things you love to see. Sheldon, I think, won it last year. So 2 of our strikers getting Young Player of the Year back-to-back years. Now, originally, as of the end of last episode, I was going to come back today, do 1 match, and then do loads of end-of-season stuff. Because of the extra matches we've played, I thought, let's see what our budget's set at, and then leave it there. And I'm looking at this budget, and my eyes are bulging. Transfer budget, 74 million. Wage budget, £700,000. I just need our reputation to go up a little bit. Then maybe I can spend some of that. Last year, I spent the entire summer looking for strength in the defence. This summer, I'm hoping we're going to be able to add that. £74 million to spend next episode? I hope you're ready for it. Transfer special will drop tomorrow for your Wednesday viewing pleasure. If you've enjoyed today's video, leave a like, and I'll see you on the next one for more. I'm out.